Hello, and welcome to another edition of Chris Speaks. Okay, so we had those attacks in London where a guy ran over people with a car and stabbed people. I don't remember if they were all the same people or if it was different people, but they were all connected to some terrorist group, which was most likely these ISIS guys. So Fox News host Nigel Farage suggests in England that they should, because he's English, obviously, and he says that, well, they should round up all the 3,000 people that are on the watch list. Well, people are on the watch list because they think they might do something, not that they have done something. So he's suggesting that we arrest a bunch of people without them having done anything just because they're on a list. He even said they should also round up the others, like several hundred people who are connected in some way. And connected in some way could be this: okay, you know Jimmy, and Jimmy knows Ahmed, and Ahmed's cousins, brothers, girlfriend's uncle is affiliated with the terrorist group. So these are people that we don't know if they've done anything. Sure, they're on the watch list or they're connected to people by the 10th degree or whatever. But that's ridiculous. And then it says, and if they don't, I'm sure that the British people will call for internment camps to put he says Islamists. Okay, so, well, Fox News actually apologized for that. I think this is the second time they've ever apologized in like 30 years. And so, it's bad if they have to apologize. They don't apologize to nothing. They get black guys on there to tell you how horrible black people are and never apologize. Okay, so after that, Michael Savage, this radio host, this guy is horrible. He is savage. He wrote all these books about how Obama was a horrible Muslim and he was this and that, and he just says horrible things about people. And he says, yeah, he says, forget about people. And he's like, yeah, we should, in America, put all Muslims in internment camps. He agrees with that. Yeah, put them all in internment camps. Yeah, you're gonna sit there and put Americans in camps like they did the Japanese. And he goes further to say, he suggested that we won World War II because of the Japanese internment camps, because we put our own citizens in the camps. He says, well, how do we know we didn't win World War II because of the Japanese internment camps? Are you freaking serious? He's looking at the Japanese internment camps as favorable. They took these people, took everything they had, put them in these camps, and when they finally let them go, they had nothing to go back to. And I am sure George Takei would have something to say about this being in the camps. And you're going to say this? I was worried they were going to try to do this after September 11th. Well, no one's going to do it, but you really want to put them in these camps? Well, they might be terrorists. Well, why don't we intern everybody in camps? Hey, know who does the most? I keep saying this, and it's true. The majority of terrorism is white supremacists. Didn't just a couple of weeks ago, this guy killed 3 people, almost killed another one. They said stabbing, but it was slashing. This dude was cut from here to here, or here to here. I don't remember which side, but anyways, it was bad because these guys were defending these poor Muslim teenagers that he was going off on. And apparently he thinks harassing people is free speech, and he murdered these people to defend his free speech. But hey, since they're the danger, shouldn't we take white supremacists and round them all up in camps? No, I am not really suggesting that we do that, but if they really wanted to take people that were really a danger and intern them, well, of course they do it to the white supremacists. Why? Because they're the freaking terrorists. They're the ones that do the most stuff here in America. I mean, even stuff that was done by people who are Muslims, the last 3, 4, 5 incidents, they couldn't connect it to any larger group. And one of them was where the guy shot up that gay club. They thought it had more to do with the fact that he was gay and having problems with that were with trying to deal with what he was and his dad's fundamentalism. But anyways, it's just really, these guys are serious about putting them in camps, but first you want to not let people in the country, but claim that it's not because they're Muslims. And then this guy just straight out, the savage guy, well, he's crazy anyways. It's just all this talk about these people. We're talking about American citizens and or legal residents. A lot of people who have been here for like 10 generations, and because of what their religion is. So should we intern everyone who's a Christian every time someone who claims to be a Christian does something crazy? No, or we'd have all the Christians in internment camps because it happens all the time. Are we gonna put all right-wingers in internment camps, even though, because most of the majority of people who do terrorist attacks within this country are conservatives, Republicans? No. But if they're the other, they're not us. They're brown-skinned and they have this religion that isn't our religion. Their voodoo's not our voodoo. So we're going to treat them like they're all guilty for something that someone does. It's just utterly ridiculous. It's one of those things like, just like true Christians wouldn't commit atrocities, true Muslims would not kill innocent people like they do. And, I mean, no one should kill anything. Okay, yes, in the Quran, as well as the Old Testament, it says to kill idolaters, which still is horrible. Really kill them because they're not of the... That's the thing with the Abrahamic religions is, well, if they're not the Abrahamic faith, they're not the God of Moses people, we're gonna kill them all. Which is still horrible, but, you know, it's like there's a lot of warlike cultures. The Hindus have a very warlike culture. That's why there was big sectarian violence between, especially back in the days of Gandhi, between the Muslims and the Hindus, because you have, first of all, I don't want to stereotype people, but a lot of Indian men are very hot-headed. And so you get them with two opposing religions, and each religion hates on the other. That kind of stuff happens. I don't really blame it on the religion. Some people say religion is bad. I think there's good things and bad things in our religion, and I'm kind of getting off of a tangent, but this whole thing of labeling a whole group, and we're talking about a group like a religious organization, we're not talking, like I was saying, like about white supremacists. Well, we know that white supremacists are hateful and they want to commit atrocities, even if they never do. They talk about it all the time. But, I mean, this is the whole thing. This country, hell, I remember even in the 80s, the bad guys were always the Arabs. And the whole thing is that this needs to stop. We need to stop marginalizing groups of people. We need to stop pointing fingers and making people do this fear-mongering against people who are different than us. And for anyone who doesn't know me and know anything, there was a time back when it was okay to be a Muslim before September 11th that I almost converted to Islam, but I changed my mind because it was just too ritualistic. There were already too many ritualistic things in Catholicism, which I was raised in, and but I still got a Quran, and I do read. I haven't read the whole thing. I read parts of it, but I don't see anything wrong with it as a religion. And it's funny because all these people that hate Muslims now, there was one time before September 11th, if they even knew what a Muslim was, they would have told you a Muslim's a black dude in a suit and a bow tie who stands on the corner selling bean pies and black people's news. You know, news about the African American communities. That's what they would have told you. Now everybody hates Muslims when 20 years ago they didn't even know what the heck a Muslim was. I don't know what a Muslim is, but I'm gonna hate me a Muslim anyways. I don't know any Muslims, but I'm gonna hate them, and I hate them because I don't know them. But anyways, it's like there's just all this hate and all this hatred, and a lot of it comes from the right wing. It comes from the conservatives, and they'll crucify me over this, but then they'll go turn around and prove me right by saying more hateful, disgusting, horrible things. It's just crazy. This Michael Savage guy, really? Maybe we won the war because we interned our own citizens because they look different than us? We didn't intern. And the funny thing is, first of all, there were two fronts on the war, main fronts. It was Japan and Germany we were fighting, right? They didn't intern German people in camps. Know why? Because they look like us. We weren't going to do that. We won't do it to us. We'll do it to the other. Anyways, we need to stop hating each other. Really, now if I'm hating on someone for being a hater, that's different. But just hating people because they're different and hating them to hate them, it's wrong. It's crazy. It's dividing the country. When are we going to come together and say, hey, it's okay to be different. You can be different, I can be different, they can be different, but we can all live in harmony. No, it's just this, all this propaganda in the mainstream media. It's just crazy. It's just, we just need to learn how to get along. Well, anyways, till I see you next, hang in there.